And I got my main man from way, way, way back.
Yes,
My
sir.
man, Coach JT from the
Yo,
94 Feet Podcast.
what up? What up?
What
What up?
up,
What up,
man?
my guy, man? Appreciate you, D-Lo. I know you listening. Appreciate the text message this morning, man. I appreciate you letting me come in and get a little time with your boy,
Yeah,
man. While
man.
you out, appreciate you, dog, for having me for real.
Absolutely. You also got the new venture, Chalk Talk,
Yeah, man. So
after
right now
every Kings
we
game.
breaking down. I'm giving a little coach's perspective on chalk talk after the game, a little in depth. My perspective, some do's and don'ts, some thoughts about the Kings, and I heard the side on the way this morning. Ah, and like you said, I had to agree with Jesse. I couldn't even get upset. I couldn't even get too. I just had to shrug my shoulders and just keep rolling, man.
Man, I didn't see that one coming, man. I didn't see that one coming.
Back to
I
back.
really didn't.
Y'all been saying it all year though. Y'all been saying it every year, no matter who, all game, back to back is
They
just.
just handled a back to back though. They
But
just handled
but
it
their
in
record
impressive
now, I believe,
fashion.
is what 6-7 on back to back games.
But see, this is the
Mm,
whole thing with this Kings team. We hope, at least I thought,
okay.
they were past all that. All the little funny business they've been doing earlier in the season, with their performances against the Bucks, against the Lakers,
Mm-hmm.
winning that game. I don't really care how it happened, but winning that
Just
game
win.
against the
I heard you.
Grizzlies. And then they damn near beat the Raptors by 40. It's like, all right, they're going to handle business. You got Washington here. There are games where you can slip up. There are games when you might have a bad night, but it can't happen against Washington. This team has showed a renewed focus down the stretch where it's not going to be Washington. Sure enough, it was Washington.
I was so disappointed last night, and this is again coach perspective right now. The way they closed out on the shooters and gave up driving lanes last night, it was like, what are you doing?
Mm.
One rotation, drive by layup. One rotation, drive by layup. I mean, I see Kuzma walk down. I tweeted yesterday. Kuzma said, y'all should have put that offer in for me.
Oh,
Kuzma said, I'm gonna have a 30-piece. Hold this.
oh man. I like Kyle Kuzma.
And last segment, you just talked about it, right? Kuzma on our team right now, we're
So
different.
so let's go there. Let's go there. Me and Kyle, we were talking about Keegan Murray.
We different.
What you think about Keegan right
I
now?
mean, realizing the age is a little older, but also the style of play. And I will say this: I've been thinking about this for a while. So bonus running stuff through him, the tempo's not fast enough for me. We need
Mm,
open court buckets. Keegan needs open court shots. He's not a creator off the bounce, off the dribble,
mm,
but in rhythm, catch and shoot, shooter. Defense is good. He rebounds well, but he needs more. I think the tempo needs to be faster to create more offense for him with one-on-one situations downhill or catch and shoot. So
mm.
bonus get the ball a little bit, man. It kind of stagnated because we look to play off of him instead of, what I'm saying, him running a lane, getting the ball to the guards. Like, why shouldn't we have more fast break layups?
Well, but there, and you would notice Sabonis gets the ball in the open court. There ain't no rule saying Keegan can't run with him. Sabonis is a willing passer in
Yeah.
the open court. So if he gets that ball, what do we? I mean, one of the reasons you might be hanging around is be a trail guy, a trail three or something like that. But run the
He should,
wings, get it. Sabonis will get you the ball if you're running the floor for an
but
open
let me
look.
ask you this though, and I know this is the name I don't want to bring up anyway. Mike Brown, Warrior System, Draymond, Sabonis. Their styles of with the ball are totally different. If he was faster, make more accurate passes off the move, Draymond, I give him respect. He could get it done in the open court. We seem too slow, man. If we're not scoring above 100 points, we're not winning, bro.
Well, they got to hit shot. They're getting open look, but this is my thing. They get the open looks. They get the open looks. I
Okay.
thought last night they got the open looks. They got to knock them down.
Yeah.
I think Keegan taking 11 shots in that game last night. Now, granted, Fox took 30, so there's
Yeah.
only so many shots to go around, but 11 shots for Keegan last night.
But is it
Any
shot
night,
selection, my guy? That's why I see us shooting a lot of half court shots that are contested. That's a big difference because not open
he
court,
getting wide open looks.
just got not hitting, huh?
He can get wide open looks. And sometimes, you got to force that action. If Sabonis is running the dribble handoff action with you and
Yeah.
you curl around that, get to the cup.
But that's the difference. Like you said, that's not him. I can see that right now.
Needs
I've
to
seen enough.
be
That's
him.
not him consistently. I'll say that.
Yeah.
He has spurts sometimes, but I don't see it every night where I'm going downhill and it being a three level scorer every night. Sometimes I'm gonna shoot a lot of threes and I'll just try to shoot the little layup if I get it. It's not like, no, I'm that other guy. It's not there for him to me. It's visible.
Mm.
He's such a calm. I get it, dude. The meme you guys posted him lighting the beam is like him. It's like that even kill. AKA shout out Kenley Scott.
So big ups.
But that boy can fill it up.
But Kawhi is that way, right? And I'm not saying he has to be Kawhi, but just because you're quiet and soft spoken doesn't mean you can't go get buckets.
We need
I
them
mean,
buckets.
you know how it is now. You know me now,
Mhm.
so I talk a lot more than I did when I wasn't like this loud, boisterous person as a kid.
True.
But when it came to hoop time, it was time to hoop.
Yeah.
So, and I think I don't want to make it like there's necessarily something wrong with Keegan. I like Keegan. Keegan's fine.
Yeah.
He's part of this future or anything like that. But I do want him to be a little bit more aggressive and
For sure.
assertive in this offense.
And I think it comes with confidence. Also, I don't know if it's the touch thing or how he's getting his touches. I don't know. I will say the other side, I'm gonna give him credit. I've seen this kid rebound the ball at a high clip the last few games, even though the shot's not falling, and he's intentional with that. But yes, for us to be efficient going forward, we need him to score. It's got to be double figures every night.
He's got to
Every
be
night.
he's got to be taking about 13 to 15 shot attempts every night.
How many free throw attempts is he getting? That's a great
often.
question.
He didn't go to the line last night. Nobody really went to the line. Well, they had 19 free throw attempts. Harrison Barnes had 8 of them. Malik had the other 7. They shot 17 and 19 from the free throw. That is one thing I said was going to happen that they've done good. They
picked it up.
They've shot the free throw really well as of late. So that's a good sign.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. That game last night, I said earlier, I'm one of the guys that said, no, they're going to be fine. They're going to get top 6. It's going to be no issue. I haven't changed my thought on that, but that one will make you think twice. So that one last night was
after the last win.
Can't put lipstick on that pig.
I went on. I was like, okay, we got 6 games coming up, whatever. I said, if we can go 4-2, this wasn't one of the. This is one of the 4 you're supposed to get.
Now you got to steal one.
You got to, because I'm thinking that where everybody else is at positioning, they had a chance to get to that 5th spot, I believe. But
yeah, well, they would have been 1 game behind after the Pelicans lost last night.
And then Ingram, BI went down last night.
Ingram's out.
BI went down. You know what I mean?
He's gonna be out for about 2 weeks at least. I think I was trying to look at this number. I wish I would have dated it or whatever the case may be. It was when they had 25 games left.
Yep.
And I said the Kings have 16 games left against teams over 500, 9 games left against teams under 500. This is when they had 25 games left. And I remember I put in these notes right now, I said if they go 8-8 against the teams over 500, which is 100% doable, and 6-3 in the games with the teams under 500, they end up with 47-35 record.
Yep.
I remember the teams that were under 500. They've already gotten their 3 losses. So they have to win the next, I don't know, it's probably 3 or 4 games of teams under 5, but they've got like because of the Wizards loss.
But like y'all been saying though too, they've been beating the teams that are evenly matched or should beat, but like, okay, we might schedule them different. We're like, okay, well, you know, they might not have a chance, or they get it done, or they go make 17 threes, or you know what I mean? It's like, but that game last night, for real, that was one of the ones you just couldn't. You got to just lay your head down and go ahead and just try to sleep it off.
The Kings,
that was terrible.
We said it earlier. We'll say it again. I'll probably say it another time today. The Kings have lost to the Wizards, Pistons, Hornets, and Blazers. It's unacceptable. They went to the wire 2 times with the Spurs. It's unacceptable. And if they are in the play-in, you got to look back at these games.
For sure.
You got to look back at those 4 losses.
Yep.
And that should be 4-0, maybe 3-1.
Yep.
And to be honest with you, if you don't make the playoffs, the top 6, it's probably going to be by a game or 2.
Oh, yeah.
It's not going to be you're 5 games out or something like that. It'll probably be by a game or 2, and you'll look back at those 4 games and say we got what we deserve.
It's going to sting. It's going to sit bad on the inside, and then after that, it's a roll of dice to me, really, because I mean the West is that loaded. The games are that they're inconsistent. So any given night, you don't know where you're going to be at if you don't take care of business or playing like you know what I mean. You want to be peaking right now, coming here, and it's still like you said though. You said before a while ago, we're up and down, man. So I don't know how to even judge this right now just by watching.
It's tough. You're listening to ESPN 1320 KIFM, West Sacramento, and Odyssey Station. D-Lo and KC, brought to you by Sky River Casino. I'm KC, my main man D-Lo. He's out for the day, so I got a band of my closest homies coming through, and they're not just my closest homies; they're established, accredited people in the media game. They come in here and talk a little sports, talk a lot of Kings. We got the NCAA tournament going on. We're gonna have a good time today on this Friday. But I got my man Coach JT in with me right now, 94 Feet Podcast. Chalk Talk with Coach JT after every Kings game.
Have been with me.
I want to ask you something that we haven't really touched on real quick. No, because this might be a little something. So I want to ask you something else real quick. De'Aaron Fox, real quick. 30 shots on the night, 15 threes. Your thoughts about his performance last night? I don't. Obviously, I want him to play a different type of game,
Yep.
but I'm not going crazy about it because I felt like at a certain point in that fourth quarter,
You need to
it was
take
like
it.
you just got to win the game.
Right.
Do what you got to do. If you got to take 27 shots in this fourth quarter
Mhm.
to bring it home, bring it home. I don't care how you do it. That's the way I kind of looked at it. But obviously, it didn't happen. Your thoughts on his performance last
And I
night?
heard you say a little bit about the 30 shots would likely to be, 10, 15 threes,
15
15.
threes.
And again, playing a back to back as high level as he plays as tempos, you can tell in high. I know we talk about high school; those are bailout shots
Mm.
late in the game or when
Mhm.
you're fatigued and not want to get to the bucket. But we needed fouls, run stoppers, pretty much, right? Or you got to
Mhm.
get 3 stops and go score. And him shooting threes, I'm watching the game last night. It's just like I'm gonna shoot it because I'm there. I need to play. They weren't as confident with fresher legs,
Mm.
and it just showed. And it's like, man, but or how else can we score in the half court? That's been my thing too. How else do we score in the half court set?
Mm.
Everybody watch him go to the elbow, turn, shoot, shot fake, shoot the midi, but it looks like we have to work too hard to get his shot off, especially late game. Man, I know he's fourth quarter Fox, but how many games can he win games for us like that? How many times?
I mean,
How much? How long? How
well,
long can
that's
you do
what you
that
got
though?
Malik Monk there for too. So if it, and that's what makes him so dangerous. You've got a situation where if Fox is, um, fatigued or
Yeah,
whatever's going on, or not, just not feeling it that day, you got a Malik Monk that could bring you home as well.
yeah.
And that was typically the situation. I felt last night they tried that formula and the car just wouldn't turn over. Like they're trying to start that engine
Uh
up,
huh.
almost got there, got to within one, all this other stuff, and the car just wouldn't fully turn over.
I just think we didn't play fast enough. It wasn't enough fast break points, especially on the road. We want easy buckets.
Mm.
Even on the back to back, I believe they didn't play with a pace and a tempo to where we're gonna force the how many. I'm not sure how many free throws we shot total as a team, but
19.
that's not enough, I think, because if you get to
Fox
20,
didn't get to the line at
25,
all.
30 maybe, and you make 20 of those, you win that game. Now, we just win it, but that's because we're being aggressive. Points in the paint, you're getting feet in the paint, you're getting paint touches that way. If
Mm.
you're shooting that many threes, you're not being aggressive downhill, especially from a guy like Fox who shoots a high field goal percentage now as the season's coming to an end. Especially Monk too. I don't even know how many Monk shot, but he's been
Monk
killing at the
shot
line.
seven.
Yeah.
He was 7 of
See,
7
but
from the line.
that's different.
Mm.
That's 7 points. That means I'm going. I'm drawing contact. I'm being aggressive. I'm not settling to where okay, there's no call got to be made. You got to make a call. You know, what I
Mm.
mean, he does that well, and that's what keeps him on the floor. That's
Yeah.
what feeds guys, energy as well. But also, we can set our defense up a little better with a dead ball, as you know, right?
Right. 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 Ah,
There
man.
it is again, man. That's all you
Yeah,
can
I mean,
do.
that's all
It's
you could
tough.
do.
It's
I don't.
tough, bro.
I just. I can't believe they messed around
Yeah.
and lost to the Wizards last
Trust
night.
me, and it was just like, and I'm just watching it and seeing the guys, and then you see Jordan Poole come down the lane, just like Olay defensive dunk. Kyle Kuzma, well, come on, man. Like for me, just the intensity on defense, like fellas, it's now or never for you guys, really, right? So
So,
bring that.
so let me ask you a question
Yep.
here. This is what I really wanted to tap into, and you talked about Monk and all this other stuff. Did you see what happened at the end of the game with Monk and Mike Brown?
Oh, here at home.
No,
It happened again last
last
night.
night.
I must have missed
Well,
that.
see,
Oh,
again last night. So for those who did see it, you know what I'm talking about. I'll paint the picture of what happened. I think there was about 15 seconds to go. The game was
mhm.
effectively over. It was done. I can't remember what Malik Monk had done, but something happened and Mike went to sub him out. Mike went, so this was off camera. I'm trying to
Okay.
put things together. Off camera, Mike went to sub him out.
Mhm.
Off camera, Malik, I believe, says,
Waved him
I
off.
don't give a F. So then the
Mm.
camera is going towards Mike Brown and he's kind of motioning like, yeah, come on, get him, get him. And Mike Brown sees Malik saying, I don't give a F. And he says, I know you don't give a F. That's
That's
why I'm
why you
getting you out of
coming
the
out.
effing game. And
Oh,
Malik just kind of shakes his head, walks off. Somebody tries to dap him up on the bench. He pulls his hand away, walks to the tunnel. Now it was just a day ago. We had the Anthony Slater piece about um, they have a different interaction. They're
right.
different or whatever the case may be, and they can get on each other and then come back and everything's good. We just talked about this a day ago. I know that the NBA is a different place. I know the NBA is a different place. You're a coach in high school.
Mhm.
You've coached AAU. You've coached kids all up and down. I use the analogy all the time. I wouldn't teach my son to interact with a coach that way. I'm not saying anything bad about Malik. I'm not saying he's this or that. I'm just saying
Yeah.
when people are like, "Oh, it's okay because he's fiery," I say that's not. I would not teach my son that this is okay. I coach kids. I
Mhm.
wouldn't deem that as acceptable for you to leave the bench or do all this other stuff because you're frustrated. I wouldn't deem that. But I concede to the NBA. The NBA is a different
Yeah.
place. What's your thoughts on that whole
So even
interaction happening, like you said before all
yeah.
this happening again?
So I was at the last game. I mean, the game that first happened Sunday
Not
here
the
against
Rockets
Rockets,
game.
right? Same,
Yeah.
and I'm sitting pretty low watching watching him go to the. I thought he was going to the locker room at first,
Mhm.
but he's went to the back.
Mhm.
But the interchange, and that was my first time seeing it. So I would say as a coach, it's a communication and trust issue, something right there, as
Mhm.
far as the player and the coach not feeling on the same page, or the respect factor too. And that's what I'm saying. He's not probably being super disrespectful, but in the public eye, it looks bad publicly.
Mhm.
But off the court, it should be a conversation had. This is why I don't need you to act that way, maybe, but still be fiery, but also realize there's a reason why a coach is doing this.
Mhm.
I'm flipping the hat, right? Coach hat. It
Mhm.
may be an instant something you're doing wrong or something I see or something that may not be working at that point in time. Or sometimes you got to prove a point, even whether it's Tibbs, he
Mhm.
does it. Certain coaches are like that. They're not going to break their morals or their values or what their philosophies are
Mhm.
to fulfill a player, even if they're making that type of money in the situation, because you are a leader.
Mhm.
You are people are watching, your teammates are watching you. And I saw him blow off the coach the one time, stuff like that. And it is a bad look, but also it's just you got to be able to put that in perspective as where it's a time and a place for everything.
Mhm.
I get it, man, because right now the time is for us to win.
Mhm.
Winning plays, winning basketball, winning atmosphere, winning camaraderie. Yeah, you can
Yeah.
get on your teammate, your
Absolutely.
coaches, but right now, but this also is your job.
Yeah.
Malik, we talked about this contract wise, right? Some coaches may be okay with that. But however, though, somebody else could say, I thought I'm gonna give him some money.
Mm.
We gotta deal with this
Mm.
now. If I pay in the bag,
Mm.
now what is he gonna do? Is he come
Mhm.
here really blowing everybody off? Is he gonna come
Mhm.
in? You know what I mean? So I
The
think you
the
got
the
business like too, bro.
the mindset, the word around town is that he likes Mike Brown, and he's doing this to Mike Brown. What are you gonna do for me if he don't
Mm.
like me?
Yeah,
You
that's
know what I'm saying? So, and like I said, we got to talk about it
yeah,
because that's what we do. I
sure.
don't. I like Malik Monk the same way I did yesterday.
Yeah.
Same way I've loved him since Kentucky. Love his game, love his intensity, love what he brings to the teams, all this other stuff. But I mean, I got to keep it a buck. I don't like that. I don't like when he does
Yeah.
that.
Because
I don't
also I
like
know,
when
Casey,
anybody does that.
all the kids are watching it too.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the issue we have in sports right now too. The behavior issues with coaches to players to coaches right now is changing, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's changing. I know we would have never thought, even if we were pissed off at our coaches, bite my tongue. I'm gonna walk off.
That's
I'm gonna
it.
walk to the locker room though. Or I'm
Right.
gonna wait till I'm not going to show him up in front of everybody. And I think that's the part too that's kind of getting those values are leaving the game,
Mm-hmm.
but it's a bad look.
Yeah.
Because every day on our phones, all you see these videos, man. It's not good.
Right.
And I don't like it. I don't like it as a coach, as an educator. I don't like it, but it's happening more often, even at the pro level in
Mm-hmm.
college. Men, women's basketball, all sports. There's more altercations based on emotions
Mm-hmm.
and stuff like that, and it's not a good look to me.
And the thing that I started this whole thing off, and I'm conceding to the NBA. I've coached and played in high school. I've coached and played in AAU. I've coached and played in college,
Mm-hmm.
junior college, 4-year college. Done all that. You've done the same.
Mm-hmm.
I've never played in the NBA. I've never been a player in an NBA locker room. So I concede that's an arena that I don't know the inner
Understood.
workings of the same way.
Yes.
The NBA is a different place. We're talking grown man to grown man. Maybe that's more acceptable in those arenas than it is in those other ones. So
Right.
I'll concede to that.
But
And
why
that's
is that? Is
it's
it just the
grown men to
money
grown
factor? Is that
men.
the
Maybe,
job?
yeah,
I don't.
professionals, all this other stuff. Maybe. I'm giving the pros the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
It may not be acceptable.
Yeah.
It may not be acceptable. I'm just saying I've never been in those arenas. So I'll concede to somebody who has to
Mm-hmm.
tell me if it's, oh, this stuff happens all the time,
Right.
or this is normal, or these guys talk it out, or whatever. I'll concede to them if they say that's what it is.
Yep.
I'll just continue to say, like you mentioned, there I'm not putting family business out in front of the public.
Mm-hmm.
Not doing that. It's a bad look. And I just wish he wouldn't do it. That's all it is. Like I
Yeah.
said, doesn't change how I feel about Malik, but I wish he
He's a
wouldn't do
dog,
that.
bro.
He's
He's a
everything this team
dog. He's a
needs.
dog, man, aggressive, attacks the
Yeah.
rim. He does talk a little ish. We like that. It's in
Yeah.
the
He was
game,
talking
right?
crazy to
I
Jordan Poole
love it.
last night. I loved
I
it.
love it. But it's a fact that again, it has to result in winning overall, but also for yourself too, though, man. You represent yourself too.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Your people, yourself, your family, whoever you got family wise. So again, he's an intense kid. So I know, dude, I know that's what he goes off of. That's how he's always been. But even more so now, more eyes on him now before though, too.
Yeah.
He was never on this type of platform.
Right.
Right? 6 man of the year candidate. He ain't been on the big screen. Every time he come on the court, everybody's watching.
Right.
So you know what I mean? He gotta handle that.
Yeah. And there's people who talk about, you know, these type of moments that happen, and they're like, oh man, you know, they'll love his fire, and I love, you know, what he does, and I'd be mad too if we lost or whatever. But it's just how I am.
Yeah,
it's the coach, man. It's the coach. I don't care how frustrated I am with the loss, how fiery I am, how mad I am. Once again, I wouldn't teach my son that that's how you interact with a coach. Yep. That's all I'm saying. But my son might not make the NBA. I'm talking about my son in high school, college, and all this other stuff. NBA, once again, is a different place. I understand that. But, you know, you mentioned something as well. Is like this time of year, you want everybody on the same page. You want everybody with the same mindset of we're in this together to win. We win together, we lose together. Yes. And do you think all that is happening in that locker room right now? Man, like, do you think they're all on the same, we win together, we lose together, or some people thinking about other things?
For a while, it was other things. During those rough times, and then, man, Kevin get better. Barnes back being at least consistently somewhat seen in the court. I think it was other things early on. They were just trying to figure it out. And year 2 is going to be better because last year they caught everybody surprised with the new team. Now they're marked men. They were on the big stage. Guys have even more film, even more hostile play. So they have to evolve and do things. But right now, I think they're playing for each other. I think they are. But it's the fact of the styles, like I said, which they play, because sometimes they play 2 different styles. Ellis comes in, tempo's a little faster. Defensive pressure's there. He's out. It's a little slower. It's not as consistent 99 out basis of play. This is our MO. This is what we're going to hang our hat on. This is us, right? We're going to be a defensive team. We're going to get up, down, and we're going to shoot threes and get the ball to Sabonis and spread the floor. But no, sometimes it's let Sabonis dribble from baseline to baseline, make a pass.
See, I don't have a problem with that.
That's slow to me.
It's not slow. Since when did your 5 I have no problem with that.
When did your 5 take the ball out 94 feet and dribble while everybody else is way down the court and he's dribbling? He's not as fast.
Ain't nobody way down the court. He up there with him. He leading the break.
Halfway. I see a couple times. Give the ball to Monk. Give the ball to Monk. Trust me. He can do what he's great. But sometimes I think the tempo should be faster. Give the ball to Mitchell. Monk. They push the ball faster. Defense on your heels. We get easier shots. I get tired of seeing this dude again. Love watching him play.
It doesn't sound like it.
But he needs a right hand, my guy. Every move is drop step, bang, bang, left hook, left turn around. How many right hand layups have you seen him take?
Coach JT,
count them.
Calm down.
Does he have a right hand? Yes or no?
How many left hand layups did you see Allen Iverson take?
He didn't need to.
People always either the Sabonis. He's averaging 20 a night,
and that's what gets me.
He's averaging.
Y'all
20
don't watch the scouting report. I'm sitting on that right shoulder. Like, what are they doing?
This is why these people are NBA players. True. This is what happens with left. You should know.
True.
You're left-handed.
I am.
This is what happens all the time. If somebody's left-handed, you need to go right. They don't ever say right-handers need to finish left.
True.
Think about that. When the last time you seen Damian Lillard just finish with? I mean, he probably does.
Dunk that ball probably was left-handed, but yeah.
They never say that about the right-handers. But they need to finish with the left.
But bro, I know it has to frustrate you. Seeing him make those moves in the paint and try to shoot a left-hand shot on the right side and miss bunnies night in and night out.
The guy's shooting 60-something% from the field.
True.
You know, Coach, Jay, what?
I'm just saying,
he
man.
Got me frustrated.
I'm just saying, man.